Have you ever imagined what it would be like if the world froze whenever you went to sleep? Not just quiet streets or still houses. I mean everything. People, clocks, cars, birds in the sky. Frozen mid-motion. Time literally stops. And the moment you wake up, it resumes, picking up exactly where it left off. Sounds incredible, right? But also terrifying. Sleeping becomes a superpower. If this were true, sleeping would be more than a necessity. It would be a secret superpower. Want to stop an annoying coworker from talking to you? Take a nap. Want to freeze the world to sneak into a store or catch that last slice of pizza? Sleep. Want to pause a moment and just breathe alone in the chaos of life? Sleep. But there's a catch. Every time you sleep, everything outside your own consciousness is paused. Your friends, your family, the world, stuck in place. Would it feel like you were the only person awake in a universe designed for billions? The science of time. Time, as we know it, is a constant measured by the movement of matter, planets, atoms, light. Even Einstein described time as part of a space-time continuum, affected by gravity and motion. But in this scenario, it's as if your mind is the clock. The universe ticks only when you're awake. Imagine going to bed tonight. You close your eyes. The second your eyelids shut, everything outside you is frozen. Birds hang mid-flight. Cars are suspended on highways. Rainwater lingers in the air like crystal. Even sunlight pauses its journey across the sky. When you wake up, the world resumes as if nothing happened. But from your perspective, you've lived an extra 6 hours alone. The first morning. The first morning you discover this, you'd probably freak out. You'd wake up and notice something strange. Your alarm clock didn't change while you slept. Or maybe your phone timestamp is frozen. Then you step outside and see a bird hovering mid-air, a car stuck in motion on the street, people frozen mid-gesture, as if the world itself has become a photograph. You'd probably test it. Blink, close your eyes, open them. Yep, still frozen. The loneliness of being awake. At first it would feel amazing, magical even. You could walk through the streets untouched by crowds, explore museums alone, stroll beaches without footprints next to yours. But after a while, the thrill might fade. Imagine realizing you're awake, always awake, while everyone else is paused. Meals go cold, conversations don't happen, hugs, laughter, moments, all frozen mid-action. You'd become the only witness to life, a lone observer in a world that never changes when you sleep. The ethics of pausing time. Here's a question. If no one else experiences it, is it okay to use this power for your own advantage? Would you eat the world's chocolate supply while no one's looking? Sneak into a closed movie theater? Or would you feel guilty, knowing the pause is unnatural, temporary, and unseen? And what if someone else could do the same thing? Could there be a silent war of sleepers, a game of hidden advantage while the rest of the world sleeps? Time travel without moving. In a way, sleeping while time stops is like a new form of time travel. Every nap becomes a personal, private journey into frozen time. You could experience hours alone while only minutes pass in the normal world. Want to finish a book, learn a new language, or train for a skill? Sleep your way into a world where progress is uninterrupted. But remember, you cannot interact with anything permanently while time is frozen. You can't steal, change, or influence events. You are a ghost in a frozen world, watching and waiting. Biological implications. If this were real, your body would still age normally. You'd experience the passage of hours, your muscles, heart, and brain moving through time, while the rest of the universe remains suspended. Sleep would no longer be just restorative. It would be essential for survival and personal experience. Skipping sleep might feel like forfeiting time itself, because while you're awake, the world moves. But when you sleep, it's frozen. And psychologically, the line between reality and dream could blur. Would you start craving the frozen world more than the moving one? Would you fear waking up, knowing time would resume for everyone else? Relationships in frozen time. What about love and friendship? Imagine being awake at night while everyone you know is paused. You could observe them, but you can't communicate, can't interact, can't experience them in any meaningful way. Would this make relationships more precious or more distant? Would you fall in love with someone frozen in a moment, perfect and unchanging, only to have them resume life and potentially never notice you? It's like being trapped in an eternal snapshot of the people you care about, forever observing, never participating. The world outside. Nature would feel completely different. Trees would freeze mid-sway, waves would hang in mid-crash, birds and insects suspended mid-flight. Even sunlight would seem paused. It would be mesmerizing at first, like walking through a living photograph. But after months, years, or decades of experience, it might feel eerie, unnatural, lonely. The world exists, but it's hollow, a stage set with frozen actors. And you, the only moving part, are both audience and performer. Could humanity adapt? If everyone could stop time by sleeping, society might change dramatically. Nighttime would become a zone of hidden power. People might use sleep strategically, extending their lives in frozen moments, learning skills while the rest of the world sleeps. But what happens if someone abuses it? What if time stoppers take advantage of the frozen world in dangerous ways? There might be unspoken rules, laws, and ethics about when and how to sleep. It could be a new form of civilization, governed not just by daylight, but by consciousness itself. Philosophical implications. Philosophers might ask, if time only moves when you're awake, is the universe truly continuous? Or is your perception the only measure of reality? Does the world exist while it's frozen? Are frozen people still alive, conscious, or just a pause in the program of existence? And here's a chilling thought. If you sleep forever, would time stop for the world entirely? Could you end existence simply by closing your eyes? Lessons in perspective. Even if this scenario is impossible, imagining it teaches us something important. Time is precious. Every moment counts. Our perception shapes reality. Even frozen or fleeting moments have meaning. Life isn't just about movement, but awareness. If we could pause time, would we cherish it or take it for granted? Maybe the value of life lies precisely in its relentless, unstoppable flow. Closing thoughts. So, what if time stopped every time you slept? You'd hold a superpower no one else could understand. You'd witness life in a way no one else could. You'd experience hours of solitude, frozen beauty, and endless possibility. But you'd also face profound loneliness, isolation, and ethical dilemmas. Every morning, the world would resume as if nothing happened, and you alone would remember it all. Time is strange, but perhaps its value comes from its unstoppable nature. Maybe the beauty of life isn't in pausing it, but in living it, second by second, aware of the fleeting, unstoppable flow. And maybe we should all treasure every waking moment a little more. If you enjoyed this mind-bending scenario, hit like, subscribe for more what-if stories, and comment below. If time really stopped every time you slept, what would you do with those frozen hours? Would you explore, learn, or just watch the world?